Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got the tank review for the brand new Tier 8 Premium Medium tank that's American, the Astron Rex. Now, this is a tank you can get in the Ultimate Pass for 6k gold. Is it worth it on initial thoughts? I'd say so. I think it's a really solid tank. It's a lot of fun to play. It's pretty damn mobile. It has enough armour that can ricochet the odd shot here and there. The gun handling can be a little bit derpy unless you fire premium, in which case the gun handling feels great. The intra-clip reload is quite long. The penetration is low at 190, but you can get over that, and generally it feels pretty great to play. I've played like 15, 16, 17 battles in it, something like that, and I've really enjoyed every single battle of playing it. It's been a lot of fun to play and get replays for you guys. I've had an absolute joy to play, and I was playing it with Randy as well at one point, and he was also absolutely loving it. And for 6k gold, I don't think you can go wrong, because, I mean, essentially, this tank isn't 6k gold, it's 4k gold, because you pay 2k for the pass and then 4k for the tank, right? So, it's pretty worth it. And you also get the 3-star Krampus commander as well, which I think I've got somewhere. Let's have a quick look for you. If we have a looky-loo. It's somewhere. Oh, here it is. This is the Krampus commander you also get with the tank. Yeah, it's something. It's definitely something. But yeah, you also get that with the crew. I mean, that will add to make a really good crew trainer in itself as a crew, even though it's really ugly and I hate it, really. So yeah, you get that, and then obviously you get the whole Ultimate Pass and all that sort of stuff anyway. So yeah, the Astron Rex, personally, I think is worth it. I think it's an absolutely solid tank. It's also got really good camo as well, and the build I run is definitely a camo build. So let's get into the stats of the Astron Rex. So it's got 450 horsepower with a 52 km/h top speed and a 30 km/h reverse speed, by the way. How fast does that go backwards? That's really quick. And you notice how fast this tank goes backwards. It's absolutely fantastic. The top speed at 52, like I say, is great. It's a little bit sluggish to get off the mark, but once you get going, you hit the 52 quite reliably. It's pretty good mobility. Not exceptional mobility, but pretty good. And if you wanted to run something like traction system instead of running for camo, you could get up to 57 quite easily, and that would be great, really, for the tank. You got 14.52 horsepower per ton ratio, which isn't that bad, really, but add to that 1.5 ground resistances, 0.8 medium, and 0.7 on firm. That's really good ground resistances. So I'm not quite sure why it feels a little bit sluggish off the mark, but it does. So, I mean, if you do wanted to go a little bit quicker off the get-go, you know, accelerate a little bit faster, you could put powertrain on if you wanted to, but camo is definitely the way to go because of the intricate reload being so long. So yeah, the mobility is pretty decent. I kind of like the mobility. I think it's solid. It gets 1300 hit points, which is there or thereabouts for tier 8. It's okay. You got 50 degrees a second hull rotation speed, which is pretty quick. It spins on a sixpence quite easily. It's pretty decent for that. Although for some reason for me it does feel a little bit slow, but 50 degrees a second, sorry, is solid track traverse speed. Your detectability range is 326. Well, actually it's probably a little bit higher than that because I've got perma camo on. I should have removed that, but yeah, if you put camo on it, and even if you pay like the 70k silver for 30 days or whatever it is, you can get that down to 326, 327 steel concealment, which is great. That's really good. And you put camo on it, you'll get it down to like 280 odd, which means this is really stealthy, and the camo on it is fantastic. You've got 390 meters view range, which is decent for a tier 8 medium. It's not the best, not the worst. It's pretty good, to be fair. 390, 400 is fantastic for a tier 8 medium, so you take it, you can get that up to a good range, you can spot for yourself really easily, and you'll see that in one of the replays, and you can stay unspotted because of the camo and stuff like that. You've got a 44 degree a second traverse speed on the turret rotation, which is solid. Again, though, you've got to be aware that that doesn't keep up with the hull traverse, so sometimes you will out-traverse your turret with the tracks, so if you're trying to keep up with a moving tank, just beware of that you might fire and find that your turret didn't keep up with your tracks. So just be wary of that. I mean, you can bump that up and put like rapid aim on the crew and get that probably nearer to it'd be 48, I believe, degrees a second with that, and then you've got other stuff as well that bump it up closer to 50. So you can get it closer to your track traverse, but it's up to you. You got the accuracy during the rotation as well, 1.89, which is not great but not bad. Again, and you'll knock that down a lot by running vert stabs and Born Leader and all that good stuff and steady aim. You've got 15 degrees of elevation, which is okay. You've got 10 degrees of gun depression, which is absolutely fantastic. Makes you really good on a ridgeline, which is nice. You can be really flexible with that. You've got a 34-second reload, which you can get down to about 26 seconds, I think it is, 27 seconds. And if you boost with food, more like 24, 25, which is really good. It actually feels really nice. It feels like you're not reloading for that long, especially with how many shells you get in the clip. It doesn't feel that bad. And that 34-second reload is definitely pretty nice. I don't think it's that bad for what you get. You get a 0.43 accuracy, which is pretty bad, but that's where you need the vert stabs and all the gun perks like steady aim and run and gun and stuff, just to get that down to make it as good as possible. That's where the gun does feel a little bit derpy here and there with some of its shots that miss. You sit there going, how did that miss? And it's because that base accuracy is quite bad, even though you can get it down really low with some of the stuff, the equipment and stuff. So just be careful of that. But if you're fairly mid-range, you won't notice it that much. Like I say, if you put vert stabs on steady aim and that, you get that down really low, and it's not as much of a problem. You've got a 2-second aim time as well, which is absolutely fantastic. Like, you are aimed in really quickly, which lets you get the rounds out as fast as it will let you with the intra clip. And yeah, the aim time is nothing to sniff at. It's fantastic. You've got a 4-second intra clip low, which is one of the downsides of the tank. It is very slow to dump out its clip, so you have to adjust for that, just like you would on a Char Future 4. You have to adjust for the fact that that is a 4-second intra-clip reload. So sometimes you can't all-in a tank, especially if you don't have the hit points. If you're full health, of course, you're just an autoloader, so you can do it. But if you are like a 2-shot for someone, you have to bear in mind that if they're full health and you can clip them out, which with your clip potential, you can clip quite a few tanks out, which is nice, they will probably get 2 or 3 shots into you. So you have to be wary of that, because that 4-second intra-clip reload is quite long. So that is one of the downsides of the tank, so just beware of that. It does have AP as standard, APCR on the premium, HE on the last round, although you'll probably never take it because your round capacity is 40, which, if you have a long enough game, you might run out of shells. You've just got to be careful of that. So you're probably never going to take a 5 clip of HE ever. But you'll have, like, I think I run 20-20. I run a split between the standard and the AP. And that is because it has 190 penetration on its AP rounds, which is a little bit of a problem. It's pretty low for a tier 8 these days. I mean, most are starting to push that 210, 220 range, and it starts to struggle quite a bit against sort of tier 9s, tier 10s. But you have 250 APCR rounds. It's not heat, it's APCR. So APCR is fantastic. You'll be able to pen most tanks you'll face with 250, and you get extra shell velocity on it as well at 1,181, as opposed to the 945 on the standard AP. Now, that you will, again, feel a difference loading standard AP to premium APCR. This is one of those things that when you face an Astron Rex and you're facing against it, more than likely, a lot of them, especially if they're sort of the better players who don't care, will be firing nothing but this 250 APCR premium round, because they won't have to struggle with facing tier 9s and 10s, they won't have to worry about low ammo count, and the shell velocity generally helps them hit more shells at range and on moving targets, because that 1200 more, around 1200 more than the 945 is a hell of a lot better, and it's a hell of a lot nicer to use. Like I say, that adds to a bit of the derpiness of the gun. It feels a little bit derpy sometimes with that shell velocity, but generally this gun is pretty damn nice. I've not had too many problems with it. I've just had the odd shell that just goes awry, and you sit there going, what? Why? God damn it, Accuracy during movement, by the way, is 2.91. That's a new stat that they've added to this garage section. And, yeah, you can get that down. We'll see what we get that down to with the crew skills. But that's not that good, and you do miss a lot of shells if you are moving. You want to be more stationary and firing from mid-range, concealed most likely. That's why I say having the good concealment is better for you, because of that intra-clip reload. It lets you stay unspotted, get more shells off before you are spotted, because the moment you do get spotted, obviously being an autoloader, people will look at you and it's not going to go too well for you. You do have 220 alpha, by the way. That is, so you've got a 5-round clip for what, 15, 1600, something like that, quick maths. I'll let you work that out. It's 15 to 1600 clip potential anyway, which is really nice. Let's say you'll clip out quite a lot. It's got 150 silver bonus as well, with 150 crew bonus, so you use this pretty well for crew training, and for silver, it actually makes pretty decent silver as well, which is nice. And so far I've experienced making pretty good silver in it, which is decent. In terms of a crew, on the Astron Rex, I did have the crew set up, but now I've done this for the Krampus crew. God damn you, Krampus. We hid it away in the AMBT, so let's put it into the Astron Rex and go over the skills. So I do run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Steady Aim, Run and Gun, Camouflage Expertise, Silent Driving, Muffled Shot. Now I've run this. This is one of my stealthy tank crews that's actually got a pretty decent gun, but I decided to run it on the Astron Rex anyway, just to see what it's like, because, say, this tank is pretty damn stealthy. So I don't run Snapshot, and these two perks are actually pretty decent for it. And to be honest, like I say, I've not really felt too bad with the gun handling. It's nice to get the the accuracy down on the move. Like you've seen, 2.91 is quite high, so getting it down lower than that is great with that. Steady aim, 10% more accurate always. And these perks, because like I say, this camo on this tank is really good, so I wanted to make it as good as possible. I don't run Track Mechanic, which has been a bit of detrimental at times, but I didn't do it for this tank because I didn't really want to be getting shot at, so I played it a bit further back, or, well, I played it quite aggressively, but a little bit further back where I'm not going to get tracked as much. Therefore, I wanted to make the gun better and just make the camo absolutely fantastic on this tank. Make your view range better, naturally. Born Leader, make everything better. Rapid Reload, you want to make your reload better. And Sixth Sense, because you want to know when you're spotted. Especially when you are playing stealthy, it's nice to know when you are actually spotted. So now that the crew's in there, let's go have a look at the equipment. By the way, the AMBT has been buffed. It now goes at 52 kilometers an hour. The traction system is pretty decent. Just a side note. The equipment. So I run optics, like I say, to make the view range better. Although you could run vents if you wanted to make everything about the tank better. Or you could run traction system to make yourself just that little bit quicker. It's up to you. Vert stabs to make the gun 20% more accurate. And camo net, because the camo is dirty on, well, it's really good on this tank, it's really nice, I want to make it better. And that's why I do it. Like I say, if you don't really, or you aren't that bothered about the camo, you could drop that and run traction system to make yourself 10% faster, if you wanted to, make the hull turn faster as well, which is perfectly fine. You could run vents to make everything better. You'll never need to run GLD, because, you know, 2-second aim time, which is even better with all the stats and stuff. Don't need that ever. Powertrain, you could do it again because it's a little bit sluggish off the mark, but it's up to you. For the most part, this is what I run because I like the stealth. I like the ability to stay unspotted for longer and be able to reposition without the enemy knowing where I'm going. It's pretty good for that. And like I say, the other two bump everything up nicely. And then food as well, because naturally that just makes everything way better, generally. So, let's have a look at the stats of the tank while it's got this crew in it. So as you see, we've now got slightly better terrain resistances. Our camo's gone down to 274 meters of still concealment, which is utterly fantastic, with it on the move of 284. So this camo is fantastic for a medium tank, and for a tank that has a 5-shot autoloader and you play it a little bit further back, you will not get spotted as much, which is nice, and you'll be able to use good bush positions and spot out and get good shots off, which is nice, and you can get probably 2 clipped shells off, maybe 3 before they actually manage to spot you, which is fantastic. Like I say, the turret traverse has actually gone up to nearly 48 degrees a second now with what I've got, which catches up a little bit to the hull rotation. The reload's down to 27.55. Like I say, it's more like 25 with food. And I usually save food until the moment I reload. And as soon as I hit reload, or as soon as I fire my clip, I'll boost with food straight away to get this clip reload down a little bit more. I say that reload doesn't feel that bad, to be honest. When you're pushing 30 on a reload for an autoloader, it does feel quite long. But this tank, no. And especially because of how much alpha you have in the clip, it feels great. I really like it. With the accuracy at 100 meters, you're down to 0.35, which is still not great, especially compared to a lot of tanks out there. But it's still good enough, and you can use that pretty decently. And it works. Like I say, if you do get annoyed with the gun handling, you can run something like Snapshot instead of, say, Muffled Shot or something like that, just to make the gun even nicer if you wanted to. And run vents as well. Run vents to make it even better, because that'll knock it down another 1.1, 0.2, right? As you can see, the accuracy during rotation, or during movement, sorry, is 1.66. That's knocked it down by 1.3, having running guns, steady aim, vert stabs, all that sort of stuff. Same as the accuracy during rotation, look, 1.66. Massive differences to both those stats, which helps it in general feel really far more accurate than it is, and is really nice. The aim time at 1.84 as well helps it feel more accurate, because you are aimed in most of the time really quickly, and you can get the shots in really nicely. And most of the time, because of the intra-clip reload being at 4 seconds as well, you will be fully aimed while you're firing your shots, because you're able to get the shots in pretty easily. And yeah, so this tank generally, with these stats and with the crew and that in it, it feels really nice to use. I've really enjoyed playing it so far. So let's have a quick look at the old model, Armour Model. And that's because it's the same as it is on PC, so we're using Tanks GG to have a look at it. And we're going to be comparing it against its own premium round, because 250 is good, but it's actually fairly, you know, lower than a lot of tanks at the tier, which are pushing that 260 barrier. So you'll be able to see what it's like facing against that 250. And obviously there's a lot of tier 9s and 10s that have around that 250 mod penetration as well, so you'll be able to see what they can do against it. So as you see, the lower plate is 210 effective when you're on flat ground looking at it. But the upper plate's 170 to 195, depending on where you are, because of the angle on it. So if you shoot it straight up, it's 175 pen. So actually, this upper and lower plate facing against tier 6s and 7s will do pretty decently. And if you wiggle, you will be able to, if you're doing this when you're going towards people, if they're shooting your hull, they will probably bounce if they're tier 6s and tier 7s with 170 pen and around and lower. So that's pretty decent for facing against them. But as you can see, facing against your own tier or higher, that upper-lower plate is going to start to struggle. If you're firing your standard round, you've got 190 pen, you're facing against anything with 190 pen, you'll be able to go through the upper plate, but not the lower plate. So bear that in mind, that again, this is one of those tanks that the lower plate, because of the angling, is actually more of a bait than the upper plate. The upper plate is actually weaker. So if you're shooting at it like that with around that 190 to 200 pen mark, shoot the upper plate, not the lower plate. You have this giant cupola, which is very weakly armoured and very easy to hit. So bear that in mind when you do go hull down. And like I say, it is giant, it is easy to hit, so you have to bear that in mind. But the turret armour isn't too bad either. So as you can see, underneath the gun, it's 226, 250, somewhere around that. It depends on where it hits. And 290 around the gun. On the top, they're not penning it just above the gun either here, because of the auto ricochet angle. But if they shoot you next to your cupola here, they'll need about 250 pen. So it's a 50-50 for this tank's premium rounds to go through it. But again, it's the type of armour that, while it's not fantastic, it's enough to ricochet the odd shell here and there. So again, if you're wiggling up and down on ridge lines and moving against tier 6s and 7s, you'll probably bounce quite a lot of the shells as long as they don't catch this cupola. But if you're facing tier 9s and 10s, the likelihood is more often than not they will go through this. But again, don't be surprised if you do ricochet off this turret when it's hull down using its full 10 degrees of gun depression, because it's pretty solid. Look at this. And you're using the full 10 degrees of gun depression, and it's looking at you like this. It's nigh on impenetrable as long as they don't hit the cupola. But look how prominent that cupola is. It's very, very prominent, very, very easy to hit. So that is your strong weak spot for going hull down. But if people are trying to catch quick shots at you, they might struggle to pen you. So that's just the interesting fact of the Armour model. It's pretty good, but not great, but pretty good. Right? Just because of the weak spot making it sort of a bit more irrelevant. But it's usable, right? And it's a little bit of an asset for the old tank, generally. So yeah, on the whole, the Astron Rex is a really solid tank. Do I think it's worth the 6k gold for the ultimate pass for this tank? Absolutely. Because you also get this, and then you get other things like, no, the Mutz is for free, but you get other little bits and bobs of tanks. That you get the Object 780 as well with the season pass. I think it's worth. I think it's a pretty strange looking tank. Looks great with googly eyes, and it's a pretty solid tank to play and pretty solidly enjoyable. So I babbled on for too long anyway. I usually try to keep the section down to 15 minutes, so sorry about that. But there's a lot to say and a lot to cover for this tank. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to send you over to the replays now, where you can go judge it for yourself, see how it handles, and you'll see some of the frustrations of the tank with a bit of the derpy gun handling at times, but also the intra-clip reload being a bit long as well, but also the damage potential, just how quickly, how nice it is that it reloads, and then you're able to dump the clips into people. So as always, everybody, enjoy the replays. So here we are on the replays with the Astron Rex. This game, we're in a tier 10 lobby, and we're on Heilbronn. And yeah, this is probably one of the... It's rolled up into one, really. It's probably the more average game I've had in the tank, and it's against tier 10s, where you sort of get the opportunity to do a little bit of damage here and there, But for the most part, you're chasing it because you're struggling with a bit with the penetration, a bit of the derpiness of the gun, a bit of bad decision making as well. And yeah, it's a pretty solid tank. I say I've really enjoyed playing it. And where I'm going to take it to is probably a position that I do like to go in any tank really, and that is F6-7. Because from there I can go hull down, I can shoot anyone that crosses the H line and gets in behind, and therefore, you know, I can try and cut them off from crossing to the 9-0, because sometimes they do that. And as we're going along, number one, big change today, ribbons, the other one, RE. Ribbons are back, so you can see we spotted that light tank, we got the spotting ribbon for it, and here is where the intro clip is slow, right? So we've got this King Dragon. Should have aimed for his back drive wheel, to be honest, to track him in place, but we got one shot in. Then we're waiting, dump another shell in. Then we get another shell, which is nice, because, I mean, so far we've done 144 damage, which is great, right? And we've not taken any in return. That's fantastic for any tank. But you can see there, we would have dumped that clip a little bit quicker if we're anything like, say, Sergeant Slaughter, Stone Cold, Ragnarok, anything like that, right? We would have fired a lot quicker. And we would have got probably 1,200 if we had a similar, you know, clip in that. Out of that whole situation, probably would have got that one extra shell in, essentially. That's where the 4 seconds intro clip is quite long. And you have to just be careful, because we didn't want to overcommit because of how long it was firing. I didn't want to overcommit and go straight over and try and keep dumping the shells, because it takes a little bit of time to get the shell in, with the intro clip being 4 seconds, right? So we stayed back a little bit more to just keep waiting for it to fire and then going forward to shoot, which is the way it is. Whereas in other autoloaders might have been a little bit more reckless in pushing further over to manage to get all of the shots in. Like I said, I didn't really feel like I was confident in wanting to do it with the 4 second intro clip. So now this game's gone a little bit weird, because we're not that long into it and we've already pushed into this position. Because, well, I don't really know what the enemy teams, how the spread out is really weird. And we get a nice shot on the move into that M48 round panzer, which actually tracked him but didn't pen him. Then we get a shot into him, and we've loaded premium, by the way, so that we could get shots into this 279E. Now, bad decision there to auto-aim the shot into him, but we ended up tracking him, and it's actually working out to our advantage, because he's getting penned a decent amount, which is actually feeding us some tracking assist, which is great. We've loaded premium, like I say, because we know we're against the tier 10s. The 190 pen was not going to help us there, and I wanted to make sure that I'd be able to pen, you know, the 279E. Now, naturally, we did get behind the 279E, so 190 pen would have actually gone through. Sod's law, but it is what it is. So we're waiting for the clip to go in. Just as I was about to go around the corner, I was like, am I getting behind this Jagdpanzer? And absolutely not. He is staring at us. We're not doing that. We're not driving in front of a Jagdpanzer. That would be death. So let's go and see if we can get round the back of him. If someone pushes him somewhere else, they might distract him. We'll be able to get in to start putting shells in. Because we're up to 1,500 damage so far with 2k. His systems are decent. There's an Orthrus there. And where did that shell go? That was weird. I'm not too scared of the Orthrus, because he can only take me down to like 600 hit points. I'm not too fussed. The arty warning, the brand new arty warning comes off, and it's like, okay, I'm going to get hit by arty. He hits me for like 200, because while it is firing really quick, it's really not hitting for very much. And we managed to get a couple of shots into that Jagdpanzer there, which is decent. We're getting detected there again, so we're just dodging around, and the GW Tiger, or whatever it was, I think it was a 261 maybe, actually missed us. So, yeah, I mean, that RT warning that they've just added as well is pretty nice, because it's actually nice to discern which one is looking at, whether you're being looked at by an actual tank, or whether artillery is actually looking at you. While the artillery, it's one of those things, the artillery changes, right, because they're all firing, and so far playing against it, I've 20 games, I mean, it's first initial impressions, right? When there's 3 of them, it's really annoying, because they fire very, very quickly. But when there's only one, you don't notice it. And when it's hitting you for like 100, 200, 300, if that. And when it's splashing, it's not hitting you for like 1,000, it's hitting you for like 100. Definitely, if that. Which isn't that bad. So if we ever go back to that limited matchmaking where it limits them down to 1 a team again, these changes I think will be pretty okay. But it's initial impressions, right? I've not played enough games to get a true sample size impression of them. I mean, if you look at pure stats and look at all the stats, the artillery changes and stuff like that, how fast they fire, it looks absolutely ridiculous. But playing against it's not been too bad so far. Touching wood, if you can hear me touching wood. So yeah, we'll see how it goes with the artillery. I do like the artillery warning though. I do like the fact that I now know it is artillery that's staring at me. The only other change as well, they've changed the sound of the Sixth Sense, which needs to be louder, but that is what it is. That's one thing I just need to ask Wargaming and say, hey, this just needs to be a touch louder, right? So now there's 2 tanks left in this game, and that is a tank destroyer and an artillery. The artillery there, the other thing with artillery is, as we look at this guy, he's got 1,300 hit points. They do have a lot more hit points now, which gives them a little bit more chance to fight back, but at the same time, if they fire, you get a lot more damage for your, well, you get a lot more free damage, which is nice. So, yeah, that actually kind of helps with MOEs, because if you come against them, it's not like you've got 3 on the enemy team with like 400 hit points each. It's 1,200 for one. Now it'd be like 3k damage, you know? And that, if they fire, that's 3k free damage. Take it. So we managed to actually snap the shot through the 268V5, the side of his turret there. We had a really bad driving moment, and we didn't get to get the artillery, but we do finish the game with 1 kill, 2.8k damage, the Confederate medal, 1,543 base XP with 2k assistance, and you can see another Astron Rex coming top of the team with his 1,750 base XP. So he had a really good game in this tier 10 lobby. And yeah, I say this tank has been really enjoyable to play. It's been really solid, and no matter what I've faced, it has been okay. Like the only thing with being in a tier 9 in a tier 10 lobby is going, oh, I've not got the penetration to face that. But like Randy, you'll see Randy's video probably out really similar time to me. He fires full premium, and he's not had that problem whatsoever. And he's been like, it's not been that bad. And like I say, with some of the shots that missed for me, he's like, it's not felt derpy at all for me, because it's got nearly 1,200 meters shell velocity, whereas mine's only 950. So that's why I say, when you see this tank, it's probably more than likely going to be firing full prem from people that have bought it. Because even firing full prem, it seems to still make a decent amount of credits for a tier 8 prem. And yeah, you don't have to worry about low ammo loads. You don't have to worry about leading your shells as much over distance. You don't have to worry about pen. The premium round is just flat out better, generally, as is the case a lot of the time, generally, isn't it, really? But, so you'll probably see a lot of people firing their full prem, and it will feel probably even nicer to play when you are firing that full premium. So, unfortunately, we missed the shot on that Lycan. We end up missing the shot. Oh, we actually hit that Barras, but we did track damage. But we're spotting these guys up. I'm decided, you know what, I'm just going to go on a little spotting run. We're firing on the move. We're just hitting if we can. We managed to get a little bit into that guy. The Brask must have poked out and shoots as we spot the T-43, who starts getting absolutely black. Look how many team we've got on this side. We want to spot for them. This is why I made that run, because Randy was like, oh, I'm firing at these guys, so he's not making the move. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to make the move, take the risk, because I want to be able to spot these guys and get assistance. And you can see we've got 1,200 spotting so far with 649. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to try and spot some more. We end up spotting the guys above us, and I'm like, well, these guys won't be a threat, really, because, well, they'll get eviscerated if they poke over. We end up spotting the Brask. Look how much health he loses straight away, because we spotted him and he fired at us. We're just about loaded. We fire on the move, and he ends up getting shut down anyway. And we've got 2.4k assistance so far. Then we get shot by an Astron Rex that is above us, and it's like, how is this man where he is? Normally, if I was to do that, I'd get instantly destroyed, and somehow he's still alive. I end up, you see, 190 pen. Randy was having no problem penning him. Me with my 190 pen there, aim for his upper plate, hit his lower plate, ricocheted. That's where the premium rounds, the difference between the premium and the standard can feel really nice. But yeah, he yellowed over, managed to get like 1 shot into us, managed to actually fire 3 shots and still missed, and then lost his tank. We end up getting clapped from the base, which is kind of sad. Me and Randy are really worried about the SU-101, behind us, because he's got a big gun, and that's not good. We take a little bit too long there to fire, and Randy gets to shut down the Tiger 131. I'm looking at it going, you know what, I might risk taking a hit here, because I want to get shots into this SU-101 to make sure he's low hit points. We managed to get a nice shot into him, dodged the shot from above, which is decent, and now that SU-101 is a 1-shot, and if anyone fires HE at him, they'll probably kill him. I just don't want that guy turning around and starting shooting him in the ass, because we've pushed into a very aggressive position here, a position that's going to work for us, but at the same time, it's aggressive, and if you have someone behind you, like where that SU-101 is, it's not going to go very well, very much. We are getting spotting on him. We are spotting the guy above us as well, so we're up to 3.2k assistance so far with 1,200 damage. And I'm kind of like, okay, I want to do more damage. We end up spotting the tank that clapped us from the base, and it's a tier 7 Leo. It's like, hello, Mr. Leo, just let me put some damage into you. He ends up crashing into that church. He fires, which keeps him spotted, and we get to delete him there. Like I say, you see, it does feel a long time when you are loading those intro clips. I say any other loader probably would have done some amount of damage in a much quicker time. the 4 seconds intra-clip reload is slow, so you have to bear that in mind. But for the clip potential that you have, and pretty much how quickly it fires, it doesn't feel that bad. I don't know. I've not felt that bad with it generally. And I'm quite used to 4 second intra-clip reload on an autoloader anyway from playing the Charview Cheer quite a lot. Because I do enjoy that tank. That is quite a fun tank to me. But yeah, so we're nearly reloading again. So we're 10 seconds off. Boost my reload a little bit more with food as much as possible. Again, using the food boost as well helps our accuracy and our aim time. And we're just going to poke up and see if we can spot what's going off. And we actually get lit by the IKV there. That T-34-2 is still in that bush next to that building, but we can't quite see him because we can't get high enough because we get instantly spotted by the IKV TD that is on our left at G34. And then we end up getting smacked by that T-34-2, who ends up getting spotted because he fired. And it's like, well, we can't allow this. We're going to get the shot in before he does. And we hit Randy's dead gun because, of course, we do. But he gets eliminated, so we get a little bit of spotting on that guy as well. Again, we're up to 3.7k. I'm thinking, I'm going to take the risk with the turret armor against this Scourge. He ends up missing there, which is decent. We get a shot into the IKV, and then the IKV actually shuts us down, gets a shot straight through our side. But we finished the game with the victory, the 2 kills, the first class, 1,802 base XP, 3.2k damage, 3.7k assistance, 3 Astron Rex at the top. Well played, Mastermind, with your 1,900 base XP as well. Really nice game for the Astron Rexes, at the Astron Rex and the Astron Rexes in general. Like I say, this tank is really fun to play, and a lot of people are probably going to enjoy it when they do play it. So now we're on to the third and final replay, and this time we are on this map, which is Highway. And Highway is a couple of tier 9s, and I'm like, right, okay. We've got the bad spawn of Highway. The spawn on Highway from this side is just not that good, generally. Because the enemy team gets basically their entire side of the map. And if you try and push their side of the map, their 1, 2, 3, more than likely, great chance you are going to die. Unless you're in something that's super quick and super stealthy, you're not going to reach the other side before one of their light tanks yellows under the bridge and spots you doing it. And then they get safe and be able to shoot you with impunity as well, which is not nice. So what I like to do is take this ridge here. You either push the town and win the town so that they don't push up through this area and then go back to defend your base, or you sit here where I am now and start pumping some shots in to those crossing into the town. So we've managed to get a tracking shot on the UDES, who actually gets shot for 390 from someone. We get a nice shot into him again, but we do take a clap there from someone over there. And we're trying to get some shots here at the E75, but we actually are getting shots at the T77, who I didn't realise was sitting in front of him for the first shot, and we get 1 or 2 into his turret. There the artillery warning goes off, and it's like, oh god, what? Don't hit me, please. It misses, thankfully, as artillery does, and now we're just waiting for the reload, because I want to get some more shots into these guys. Now, the problem with this is, obviously, if they send quite a lot to the town, which they have at the minute, you have to win the town, because if you win the town, then... Oh, if you don't win the town, sorry, you're going to get surrounded really quickly, so you do have to sort of make your decision quickly. So now we get a nice shot into the side of the E75. I've loaded premium because of shooting at the E75 and the VK101Ps that were spotted going across. And my theory was, if they were going to cross that open K line, then I wasn't going to be able to pen them that easily or reliably at all with 190 pen. I want the premium 250 pen to be able to actually pen them, because, like I said, I don't want to waste the opportunity to shoot at them. So we're just looking for a shot at the E75, can't quite find it. The UDES is behind cover. Then we spot another VK101P. Oh, it's another Pleb. Sorry, Mr. Pleb. We get a nice shot into his side. We get another shot in. Like I say, if we were firing the 190 pen round there, we might not have gone through the side of his armour, which is, again, why, at the distance we're at, that is. And that's why I wanted the premium round to go through it. But now it's at the point where we're loading again. And I'm thinking, right, they're pushing. They are. If you see the medium tank at B6, they're pushing across that open field. And I'm looking what it is. It's like, okay, it's an Astron Rex. What do I want to do here? Do I want to go after this Astron Rex, start shooting the people crossing into the base? Now, you know what? Maybe not. I'm thinking possibly go after the guys in the town. And by doing that, we can win the town, free up the guys that are in the town. They can possibly come back to defend the base, hopefully. Or push towards their base, whichever way. I mean, at the minute, we're at 15 well, 536 assistance, 1600 damage, which is pretty decent so far, and I want to push this game even higher, because naturally that's what you want to do. So now we're loaded, we're going in. It's like, okay, what can we get? We've got the premium loaded again, so we can guarantee go through the super heavy tanks, because otherwise we are going to struggle. As we're going in, we get a nice shot auto-aimed into the V, or the MX-65T. We get a shot into the side of the Wraith. We pull back behind the destructible cover to try and confuse whoever it is shooting at us, and we've still got 3 rounds left, so it's like, okay, I'm looking at this Wraith because I want to get round behind the Wraith, shoot him, and I can get the shot up behind the heavy tank here as well, because that way I can, you know, get rid of 2 tanks from one go. I don't have to drive in front of a super heavy tank with a big gun. And we managed to shut down the Wraith, and just as we get behind the super heavy, he gets shut down as well. So as soon as we've done that, the artillery warning is going off. I'm like, okay, please artillery, don't do it. We instantly reload. We don't need the APCR anymore. We just need the AP, because we're pretty much going to pen most things we're going to see on the enemy team now. We got rid of the things that we're going to struggle to pen, and the base is under threat. We want to go get this base reset because, well, we don't want them to cap. So as we're going along, it's like, okay, with the current cap situation, I can fire a clip with that and then reload and be able to get back. So this 5120 is in a weird place, and it's like, well, hello, Mr. 5120. Just let me start firing while I'm still moving towards the cap. You can see my mind's eye is still on the cap. I don't want to stop in a place where I'm too far away from the cap. So I keep myself in a position where I kept moving to get shots in. But now I've finished that 5120 off. We're reloading again. And I'm just watching these guys. There's a minute left on the cap, so I'm not too worried about that at the minute. So I'm just not focusing on it. I'm waiting for this reloading, and my next target is the Astron Rex on the other side of this ridge, or the heavy tank, either one. And there's still 48 seconds left. I'm just waiting for the reload. My team is starting to come back this way, so I'm pretty confident. Then someone else gets on the cap. There's 20 seconds left. And it's like, oh, God, this could go really badly, really quickly. That's not good. So this Astron Rex is looking over towards me as I start to move. I have to go back and reset. He's seeing 10 seconds. I have to chance it. I can't just sit and wait. So we're going to fire 2 shells at Astron Rex. We're penned in with 1. I was just hoping to set him on fire something. Now we've got 3 left. We managed to auto-aim the shot into the Yatza, reset him just as it hit 1 second. All the time in. Fire on the move at the Waffle Panzer 4, but it doesn't pen him. He misses. The Yahtzee didn't actually manage to kill us. It only tracked us. We reset the Waffle Panzer 4 as well with it, and we actually saved the game there with the resets on their team. And we've run out of ammo, so we're just reloading. I'm looking at it going, will I get another shot at this Waffle? No, probably not, because he's going to get shut down by my teammates, which leaves just the artillery left on their side. And we've managed to get 933 damage with 4.5k 933 assistance, 4.5k damage. We've had a really nice game for the Astron Rex. We managed to just about save the game there. It was cutting it close, right down to the wire. Managed to reset that Yahtzee. Got lucky that the shot went in. If that shot didn't go in, we would have lost there. And then we got lucky that the Yahtzee tracked us and didn't pen us. And the Waffle Panzer 4 missed us, and we managed to get the reset into that guy as well, which fully defended the cap, which is nice. It's always nice when that comes off, but it's one of those things, when you see that and see them capping line, they've got like 20 seconds, 25 seconds to cap, and you're on that ridge line, you have to go back and reset. That cap is way too covered to be able to shoot them. Unless they drive out the cap or drive in the open for you to shoot, you're not going to be able to get shots at them. You have to get down to the left, and you'll be able to get shots and reset. And we do finish the game with the victory, nice enough. We finished with the epic victory. Top of the team, 2 kills, 4.5k damage, 933 assistance, decent amount of credits. High caliber, Confederate, Defender Medal, first class, 1857 base XP. A really nice game for the Astron Rex, which is a pretty fabulous tank, to be honest. I've really enjoyed playing it. It's really fun to play. And for the ultimate pass at 6k gold, it's well worth it, because you are essentially paying 4k gold for it. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.